Starboard Bow, guys and gals, of course. Down here at the beach, I'm with my E-Lux Sierra fat tire bike. It's been over a year now I've had this bike. I get stopped every day. People asking me, oh, what a great looking bike. What's it at? What's it about? I did a video on it about a year and I'm just doing an update. Get a lot of comments, people going, how's that bike? How's it been for a year? And usually when you do a review, it's a good time to do it is, 2, 3, 4 months at least minimum, never mind a year, just to give an update on it, because they have a new Sierra that's out, the GT model I think it's called. It has a bigger motor. I have a 500, I think the new motor is 700. It has hydraulic brakes compared to regular, pad brakes here. There's a couple of different things, but I'll update you on my bike. It's been over a year now. So Sierra. Had it for over, like I said earlier, it's about a year. It's got the fat tires. I've already replaced one tire, which is the front tire. I could not get the Kendra Crusade Sport tires. Were very hard to find. So I end up having one of these tires, and to replace the tires, you can probably do it for about $40, or you can do it yourself. Go online, there's a bunch of YouTube videos about replacing these fat tires. The front tire obviously would be a lot easier than the rear tire with all the gears. So let's kind of go over this. I do have an extra Kendra Crusade Sport tire that I finally found, and I brought it just to have it handy. And obviously I'm getting ready to replace it. I've had this tire on there over a year. And as you can tell by the treads, they are getting a little worn out, but it's been very good to me, guys. I'm telling you, these fat tires are the way to go. And this E-Lux Sierra has been very good to me. There's a couple of things that I'm going to be honest with, I'm going to go over with you, just to make sure that you are clear about these E-Luxes. I paid about $1,500–1,600 for it. The new E-Lux GT that's out right now, I think, is running about $1,900. I specifically ride this E-Lux on pretty much flat areas, not too many hills, but there is a bunch of hills that I ride every day, about maybe 15, 20, 25 miles on this thing. And there are some hills and it goes up pretty good. The E-Lux, I have the green model, obviously I think it's called Army Green. The new, I don't think the new models have those. This E-Lux, I can go over the specs with you in a little bit, but people want to know, most importantly, how far does it go, how fast does it go, how's the ride, very comfortable. When I bought the E-Lux, it came with a regular seat. This is the Surf, I think it's called Surfast. Here it is right here. It's Surfast automatic pressure relief. This thing is a very comfortable seat. I've had it over a year, and this seat's in great condition still, and I ride a lot, and it's definitely worth replacing. I think they run about $150 compared to the seat that comes with it. I think the new GT comes with the new seat, and it's got the shocks on and everything. This E-Lux model, I did not buy the shocks. I didn't need it. I wasn't going off-roading with it. I bought it specifically because I have a 20-foot motorhome. You've all seen that Damon Hornet that I have, and I just basically bring the bike right into it. A lot of people ask me, oh, it's the one that folds, but I haven't folded it. Let me give you guys a little heads up on the folding portion of this E-Lux. It's very simple, and a lot, obviously it's very, so you just basically pop this out right here. Oh, first you got to pull this up, and then you pop it out, and boom, and it folds. Problem is, if you don't, I suggest when you have one of these things that you fold it continuously, at least once or twice a week. This is so tight right now, it takes 2 people to help me fold this thing open so that I can replace the battery that's in here, because the hinges on this thing are stuck, and it's my fault for not, opening and unopening it, folding it, unfolding it back and forth, just so that it keeps Sierra. I'm sure that I can go ahead and myself and oil it down, grease it down, get it back to normal, but hasn't been a problem for me whatsoever. I never fold a bike. If I do fold it, it's because I'll throw it in the back of my SUV. Fits perfectly in the back of the SUV, no problem. It only weighs about 50, 60 pounds, maybe not even that much. Like I said, it's been very good, and down here at the beach, when the tide is out, I can ride this E-Lux all the way from State Beach all the way down there to Dana Point, which is about probably an 8-9 mile trip, and this rides on the beach beautifully with these fat tires, the nub tires they call them. Okay, so the E-Lux, as everybody knows, it's been really good to me because you've guys seen in a couple of my videos. There are a couple of issues with it. The brakes are pad brakes, and if you keep them maintained, you can keep them going pretty good. The brake have had no problem with. The rear brakes I had a problem a few times where I had to have them adjusted. Make sure you specifically go to a proper maintenance person that can adjust these brakes. I was bringing it back to the guy that I bought it with, and he did not know how to adjust the brakes, so every month or so the line would slip and I'd have to bring it back, and I finally brought it to a mechanic on these bikes that knows how to adjust these brakes, and it ends up perfectly. The brakes work perfectly. Ever since he adjusted these brakes, this line right here gets loose, and obviously, as you can see, it's getting worn with a little friction right here. I'm gonna have to replace this, but right now the brakes work fine. And just like I said, you just want to be careful. This brake line is fine, didn't wear out on me, but the one back there getting kind of rusted just from being out in the air so much. But what other things? The battery itself. This battery is a pretty good battery. I charge it up pretty much all the time. You can probably go about 25 miles. I wouldn't, unless you're going flat surfaces and you have this on a level 2, 3, when it comes to the level, adjusted level, which is pedal assist level 2, 3, you can get about 30 miles, but you have to be careful. I never go more than that. I did purchase another battery, and I keep that charged up, and what I'll do is I'll put the battery usually on the back of this rack. The rack comes with the bike, which are pretty cool. It comes with the fenders. That was pretty cool. And for the last year and a half, I've had no issues mechanically with anything. It does sound like the motor is getting a little loud. A couple of things might be going on, but I do travel around on this thing. When you're in a 20-foot motorhome, I'm going to different places, the beach or wherever. You could be, normally you're about 5-6 miles out of town or somewhere. You can just jump on this thing, go get some groceries, and come back. The pedal assist has been great. I myself, you come over here to the monitor, you just press the on button. I myself never bring this pedal assist. You just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the most, but I never have it on 5 unless I'm in a hurry to get somewhere and I'm on a flat surface, or if you want to go up a hill, real steep hill, you're going to need to put that on 5. But I basically travel with this thing around 2, and you can tell when you're traveling around here because this monitor right here, I don't know if you see with the glare, sorry about that, this monitor goes up to all the way to the top. It will stay down here low around the eco area when you're pedaling on 2. It'll stay down here and you're not using a lot of the batteries. As you can see, I've got 4 bars still. I had 5 bars when I left Dana Point. That was about 8-9 miles. So I've done about 10 miles today, 11 miles, and I'm still on 4, which is pretty good because, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it on 2 when I'm pedaling. When you're on a flat surface, keep it on 2 unless you're in a hurry. Not only is it safer to keep it on 2 or 3, you're fine. Because if you have this thing on level 5, which is, you just touch the pedal on level 5. You just touch this pedal, and this bike's going to come out from under you. So I would be very careful when you're doing it. I've had it over a year. I've already wrecked it a couple of times to where you just don't pay attention and you touch the pedal. It's so sensitive, especially if you have it on 5 or 4. You just touch the pedal and the bike will come out from underneath you and you'll end up crashing or doing something. So just be careful. No need to have it out of level 2. And one more thing, if you hold down the set button, the monitor will clear out to, as you see, 0. You can adjust things by just hitting the set button. You can adjust the friendliness, you can adjust the mileage, you can reset the mileage. Tells you how far you're going, how much time you got left on the battery. And the best thing about it, when you're in 0 and you keep it down there, you can press this plus button. See, it goes, you can read that. I don't know if you guys can read it. It says eco, normal, and I have it on power. I'll keep this thing on eco. If you keep it on eco and you're running 2 or 3, you can last a long time on this battery. Now, there is less power when you have it on eco, So if you're going to be on a flat surface and you're going to be just riding the bike, you have to, I would keep it on eco and just put it in pedal assist number 2. I mean, it's clean, it's smooth, and you should have no problem with it. I just put it on power because I'm not going long distance. I'm only about 9 miles away from home base and my motorhome. So then you just hold down the set button and you're back to normal. I'm on eco, I'm on power, and I'm on level 2. Yeah, and all this other specifications, you can just go to my old YouTube. I'll go ahead and put the link up on the top over here somewhere to let you to go over the different specifications. One of the things that there is an issue with, and I went to the store and the guy told me basically you have to get another handlebar, which I do not like that real much. If you notice over here, above this little light, there's a little crack right here, a little seam. See that seam right there? And you go like this, see my handlebars? They're going up and down. That seam comes loose. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't seem very, very safe, but what I'm gonna have to do is get a new handlebar, which basically you just pop this thing off right here, and this thing slides off, and you put a new handlebar on there, and hopefully that seam's a lot tighter. I'm trying to get a hold of the company, or the new model. I noticed when I went and go look at one of the new models of the Sierra, that little seam right there that's loose, and these handlebars are going kind of loose. You worry about them falling out from under you. That seam is welded on the new models. That's telling me that they've had some issues with this, not only on mine, but on the old ones. So hopefully I can get a hold of the company, and he'll go ahead and give me some information on replacing that. I've had, again, I keep saying a year, but I just want to update you. I had this thing over a year. What I do is when I'm riding, I pretty much leave it on 7, but you can bring this all the way down to 1, 2, 3. If you're on level 1, adjust 1 pedal assist on this thing, which is 2. But if you're on level 1, you cannot pedal this bike unless you're on a slightly downhill flat surface. So if you do want to pedal the bike flat surface, which you should have no problems with, leave it on level 1. You should bring this gear all the way down to level 1 or 2 so that the pedaling is easier and you can actually go. You're not going to go anywhere fast, but that's the only way that you could actually pedal on level 1. So I never have this thing outside of level 2. So, and I added this little mirror right here. You definitely need to get one of these mirrors that slide right into the handlebars. You have to, so you can keep an eye on what's going on behind you, and I can slide it in when I'm on a tight spot so I don't run into nobody, and you can just slide it out. What else we got? The kickstand. If you don't, you gotta keep remembering not to do the kickstand, and so what will happen is this thing will shimmy. This kickstand will shimmy up if you keep bumming on it and you keep forgetting to put it up. It rides along the ground. You can adjust this to bring it down or up. It's pretty easy. Folding it, I don't need to go over that. That's pretty simple. You just unlock it and fold it in half, bring it in. And like I said, make sure you bring it in a lot. One of the good things about this thing, I mean, it's normal, is let's see here, a picture of this here. I don't think you can see it, but there's actually a USB connection right here. You can plug your phone in and charge it. Now, understand, it's not a fast charger, so this thing never charges my phone. The only thing it does is it does give power to my phone. So if I have it plugged into here and in my phone, I usually slide the phone into here if I'm going anything that's bumpy or louder. If not, I'll just put it in here and lock it up into here. But yeah, this USB port that's in here will keep it powered, but it does not charge your phone at all. And then there's one supposed to be one here in the charger port. You can see in there. See this USB port right there? That USB port never worked, and I've never used it because it's never powered my phone. I won't even power it. I don't even think there's any power in it. I just have the 500 motor, and like I said, guys, there's no need for anything over a 500 motor. Some people want an electric bike with the big ones, the big larger models. I have no need for it, and I do not want one. It's just not safe to me. Those big models, and not only that, I'm on this beach trail all the time, going around a lot. You got to be careful and respectful when you're driving. Never get this thing above 8 miles an hour. There's e-bikes on here, especially with the young kids that are riding them. There's some of these big e-bikes that go 30, 40 miles an hour. And all that's going to do is, it's just like everything else in the country now. Those that follow the rules and the laws and orders are the ones that get punished by not being able to ride your bike on the streets or on the trails anymore, because the selected few to decide to be disrespectful. So, well, back to my E-Lux. Okay, I went over it. The power, like everybody wants to know, it's about 30 miles, I think. The power's, you know, I have no problem with the battery. Never have a problem with charging the battery. I charge it up every time I get home and just plug it back in again. Normally, there's about 2 bars left, about 2 to 3 bars left, but I'll just charge it up just to have it ready. I just take this thing, roll it right into my motorhome, and there's no problem whatsoever. So this is the E-Lux, the E-Lux Sierra. Fat tires, nub tires. It's a 5-level pedal assist, 500 motor. It has the fenders that come with it, which are pretty cool. Never had any problems with the fenders. Never have any problems with the seat, the gears. And I recommend this E-Lux Sierra out of any of the others. I have one bike. I'm not going to name the bike that they sent me to review it when they saw my first E-Lux Sierra video. But I'm not going to review it because I haven't ridden it, and I couldn't tell you. I see a lot of the bikes. Everybody, I have to tell you though, from doing a lot of research on the internet, this E-Lux Sierra, all the parts that come with it, the motors, the brakes, all these other things that come with these bikes, they're all from China, guys. And it's hard for me to buy anything from China right now, but you know, I love my bike. I need a bike, need something in the motorhome. But all the other models and everything, they're all self-models. All the parts come from the same people. It's just how the bike is put together. The frame is the biggest difference with all the other short bikes like these nub tire short bikes. If you can't sit on a bike, an electric bike, where your feet are planted firmly on the ground, I would not be riding one of these things, especially the kids and the teenagers that are getting to use these things. They're very dangerous, and you have to keep your eyes open, especially when there's people around, so you don't run into people, knock people over. I take this bike everywhere I go. It's been very good to me, and E-Lux is a great company. I've called them online, but the only issue, like I said, that I have is this seam right below the T of the handlebar. This seam is not looking good right now, and I got to get that place because I can see myself going down a hill and those handlebars coming off. I'm in deep doo-doo. But what I do is, like I said, I recommend keep it clean, keep it oiled up, check the brakes once in a while, make sure all the nuts, everything's, all these little, these nuts are all tightened. Go through them all the time, especially if you're going to go somewhere. Just make sure everything's tight, make sure you get the air pressure. I always have less air pressure in these tires because when I'm on especially if you're riding on the beach, you don't want to have it, it's easier to get around when the tires don't have that much air in it. I have the basic, another thing, these do not come with lights, at least the old model did, and I don't know about the new ones, but I put a light here and I put a little one of these lights here. There's self lights. They're pretty cool. You can get them in Walmart for about $8. And I did the same thing in the rear view. Rear there is a brake light. You have to turn it on, you set the set button, but I put these little suckers right here. They're really cool, and they're bright. So I recommend getting those things on there. Like I said, 7-speed, 500 motor, reflectors. Bike's a great little bike. The pedals are great. I keep it oiled and chained up, you know, really just doing some maintenance on it. So go ahead and put a comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know if there's any questions you have about the E-Lux. And if I do another review of another bike, which I think I might have to do when I get this other one, that just to see the difference. But I've had this thing for a while, and I have to say I'm very pleased with it. And I'm going to just get it maintenance. I'm going to get the seam on that handlebar. I'm going to get it welded. No reason to buy a new bar, just the defect on that. But I will call them and ask them about it, just to let them know that I'm going to be doing a video and talking about that seam. So let's see. Battery, power, distance, speed. It never goes above 20 miles an hour, so forget about anything above 20. It doesn't even do 20. The most I get this thing on level 5 when I'm pedaling fast is about 18, 19 miles an hour. I mean, if you really push it and go through it, you might be able to get above 20. Now, if you're going downhill, obviously, you'll get 27, 26 miles an hour. So that's pretty dangerous. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell. And comment, guys. Please comment and let me know. I could be wrong in a few things. I go to the experts when it comes to things like this. But this is my review. This is Starboard Bow's review of the E-Lux Sierra electric fat tire bike. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll talk to you later.